Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Let me fix this. So I have a story that I want to share with you guys. It was a lot of people probably already saw it. It's about I think his name is Steve King or something, and he made this disgustingly racist remark talking about other people's babies in regards to the repopulation of America. It's ridiculous. So I only watched a tiny bit. Again, I don't like to watch the videos before I share them with you because the content is probably going to stress me out and it makes my anxieties get really bad. And so I think it's best if I watch it the same time you guys are watching it. So let's try to find it. I mean, honestly, this guy has some nerves. It's like, dude, A, you're not even American, so there's that. And I just don't get it.
Oh, to be a white congressman in America, Iowa Steve King continues to showcase his white nationalist beliefs in response to a tweet he posted over the weekend that drew major condemnation from Republicans and Democrats, even though two of the black Republicans in Congress have been quite silent on this. Y'all, other people's babies, he's talking about y'all. In an interview with an Iowa radio station.
I love that. I love that. his facial expressions. But these white nationalists, honestly, they're a joke. And I tell you guys, please don't take them serious. I mean, you have to take them serious on the fact that they're white supremacist terrorists. You should always take that part serious. But the reason why I say he's a joke, because these white nationalists and these white supremacists who are so pro-white, and you would think that they would go back to their white native land. Like, why are you here? Go back to Europe. I don't get it.
On Monday, King took issue with recent comments made by Univision anchor Jorge Ramos about whites becoming the minority in America within 30 years.
Jorge Ramos' stock and trade is to identify and drive wedges between race and ethnicity, I should say, to be more correct. And when you start accentuating the differences, then you end up with people that are at each other's throats. And he's adding up Hispanics and blacks, and he predicts will be in greater number than whites in America. I will predict the Hispanics and the blacks will be fighting each other before that happens.
Boy, that's stupid. Later, King went on Tucker Carlson.
We need to make sure that's not true, and that's why I try to really bring back your focus onto what the issue is, which is white supremacist terrorism. That is the biggest issue that faces America. That is the biggest issue that faces everyone worldwide. You know, they are global terrorists, and we really need to stay focused on that and not, I know this, people are up in arms about, this Asian man at the beauty shop, and I totally agree. We don't support Asian businesses. It's that simple. But don't get your focus off of what's really important, which is ending white supremacist terrorism. That is the main thing. That is our problem. Yes, Asians are some of the biggest people that perpetuate white supremacist terrorism. They really do. But we really need to stay focused. The Mexicans, to my knowledge, really aren't that big of a problem to us. We know who the main problem is. And if you want to skip over the life-threatening problem, which is white supremacist terrorism, and focus on Mexicans or Asians, then something is really wrong with you, because that is not the problem of right this moment. Okay?
Show on Fox News to discuss, again, the controversy. And it's no shock that Tucker Carlson would defend Steve King's racist tweets and his white nationalist views.
But we're at this place now in America where we're seeing people marching in the streets that are pushing back against the American culture and the American civilization.
And you know, he's including these Black Lives Matter marches. He's saying, you know, why are they saying that their lives matter, their lives don't matter? And you really need to realize that. This guy shouldn't be in America. I don't understand why he's not locked up in Guantanamo Bay. He's clearly a terrorist. He's clearly a threat on the safety of all of American citizens. He should be in Guantanamo Bay right now, not on TV spewing his ignorant hate.
And it's troubling to me that over the last 25 years, we've essentially phased out the promotion of assimilation, and we promoted instead multiculturalism and diversity as if it were our strength. And in fact, they're using it now to divide us, and that's what Barack Obama did throughout his presidency.
So assimilating to American culture would mean we should go enslave him, and we should kill him, rape his babies and his wife and his children. We should all become global terrorists. That's what he's saying. There's no assimilating. If he wants to assimilate people to assimilate to a white culture, then they should go to Europe and do that. I don't get that. You have an entire continent that you should be on. And the fact is, they don't even belong in Europe, but we're giving them that. That's where you came from to get to America. Go back there. Go to Russia. There's not a lot of Black people sitting up in Russia. These people have so many different opportunities and alternatives to what they can be doing, but instead he wants to sit on TV and talk about how America should be white. America is not white. You do not belong in America. Go home. Go back to Europe.
Everything you said, I think, is defensible and probably right. The problem with the tweet was that it suggested there's a racial component to American identity.
Wow, it was no shock Tucker Carlson would say that. But if you want to understand Tucker Carlson, if y'all want to understand what it means to be white in America, he had a failed show on PBS canceled, failed show on CNN canceled, failed show on MSNBC canceled, and he still got another show on Fox News. Boy, it must be good to be a white man in America.
Oh, it is. But you guys need to understand and pay attention to who these networks are pushing out. If you are a Black American or Black anywhere and you're still watching Fox News or their affiliate, then something's wrong with you, because they've shown you in every form or fashion that they are white supremacists. So why are we supporting them? We need to stop for sure supporting these white supremacist stations. Boycott them. Just stop watching them. Like, don't watch them. Don't be on their shows or anything like that. I don't understand why we constantly engage and give them what they want. They need to go back to Europe, and that's my only message to any white supremacists or white nationalists or anyone crying about white fertility and being the minority. You should be the minority, because there should only be good white people in America. There shouldn't be nationalists in America. There shouldn't be white supremacists in America. There should not be any racist white people in America. Why are you here? That is my biggest question. If you have a problem with the diversity of America, please just pack your little white bags and scurry off back to Europe. There's caves there that are welcoming. There's no Black people. There's no sun inside these caves. So, you don't have to go to war with the sun. You don't have to worry about any diversity or race mixing, because you'll just simply be in a cave with other evil albinoids, and there's no problem with that. But the fact that you're here infuriates me. He should not be here. This goes to show for me that the laws do not work, that this war on terror never existed, because if it did, people like him would be in Guantanamo Bay being tortured.
They have that many failures. Show me somebody Black or Hispanic who had 3 shows that got canceled and got another one, or even 2, or even 1. All right, joining us from Whitefish, Montana, white nationalist Richard Spencer, president of the National Policy Institute, Radix Journal. Of course, he also is an alt-right leader. So,
another extremist, another terrorist that feels free to be on national TV spewing his hate. If you're a terrorist in America, as long as you have white skin, it's like you can do whatever you want to. There is no reason that this guy should be on TV. Why is he not in Guantanamo Bay? Again, we have this prison that we opened and we're funding and we're all paying for to put terrorists in, but we have 2 terrorists right here, just not in prison, just sitting there spewing his terrorist hate, and it's fine. He just gets to walk around and do that. I don't get that. Somebody please arrest this guy and put him in Guantanamo Bay. He is a known terrorist. He's clearly a terrorist, and he should not be here. At least banish him back to Europe. I don't get it.
Richard, you must love Congressman Steve King because he's right up your alley.
Right. Steve King said nothing wrong, and he said a lot right.
Like what?
Well, the basic concept of his tweet, his offending tweet, which is we cannot build a civilization with other people's babies, is exactly correct. And that is European civilization is intrinsically linked to Europeans.
Okay, so I'm laughing, and I laugh, and you should take this opportunity to laugh too. Clearly he knows he's from Europe. Why isn't he in Europe? Why aren't you taking your European views back to Europe? That's what I say when these people are not smart. They're not smart. They lack common sense. They lack common decency. But it's like, for me, common sense will tell me to just go back to Europe. Like, they're from Europe. They immigrated to America savagely. They came over as terrorists. They've been terrorists for every minute that they've been in this country. They've been terrorists. And they need to go back to Europe. He knows where he should be, and why is he here?
It is not some free-floating value system that we could project onto other peoples. It is ours. It comes from us.
Richard, you're in Whitefish, Montana, right?
That's where I am right now.
Which country in Europe is that located in?
Oh, not this again.
No, but you keep saying European values. I'm asking again, are you in Europe right now, or are you in the United States of America?
Roland, when I say a word like Africa or Europe, that can both mean the continent, that is the geographic place, or it could mean the race of people who emerged, who evolved on those continents.
Oh, gotcha. So, okay, all right.
I'm when I'm saying European, it is a reference to white people.
Gotcha. Okay, but you could just say white people because you could actually be white and not from Europe and still be called. So that's what I'm trying to understand.
Right.
So also, but here's what's interesting. When you talk about other people's babies, you do know that there have been significant advances in this country as a result of other people's babies being in this country. You look at what's happening in Silicon Valley right now. You look at, of course, the African-American experience. In fact, when you talk about even white folks who came from other countries, y'all also came from somewhere else, so you're other people's babies.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I mean, yes and no. I mean, look, in terms of just Silicon Valley, that idea that you just put out there. I mean, 95% of the entrepreneurs who are, really successful, multimillionaires under 40, 95% of them are white. In terms of...
Because we live in a system of white supremacist terrorism. Okay, if you have no boundaries, no moral compass, then you can get whatever you want because you're getting it by murdering, by molesting, by raping, by complete terrorism. So the fact that he wants to sit there and brag about his terrorist behavior is just, it's insane to me. But he can do that. He can get on TV and be a terrorist, and you don't see the FBI and the CIA at his door. They should be. They really should be. If they're looking for people that are a threat to America, this is it. This is your threat to America's safety right here. The people that we allow to come on TV and spew their ignorant hate about their precious European blood and children and stuff, but refuse to go back to Europe. Just completely refuse to go to this place where it should be a utopia, a straight out utopia for him, but he refused to go there.
Look, all of these amazing inventions and things that have changed our lives, I mean, these are derived from our people.
Who's our people?
White people.
Okay, but right now, but when you have advances right now in Silicon Valley, when you look at what's happening with technology, even when you look at right now of the young folks who are scoring high in STEM, 83% of them don't look like you. So our future actually is pretty bright because of other people's babies. And here's the other piece, Richard. We're not going anywhere. So y'all might want to, but here's the deal. You can't blame Black people and Hispanic people because white people in America, one, stopped having babies. And two, you can't blame Black people and Hispanics also for the opioid addiction, where white folks are dropping dead at a higher rate than anybody else. Y'all on the painkillers, not us.
Thank you.
Well, there are a lot of problems within the white community. I would never deny that at all. The fundamental.
He said he won't deny it, but he certainly won't address it because he just wants to point fingers and talk about his precious European heritage while he's not in Europe. This is why I don't watch these videos before I do a video or commentary on them, because this is ridiculous. This is hurting my brain because it seems so simple that he would just go back to Europe. Like, I wish I could, if anybody can get his phone number and get it to me, please, I would like to call him directly and say, why aren't you in Europe? I would love to know why you're not in your utopia with all your people.
Point, and this is the point that was truly radical and truly right about what Steve King said, is that culture and civilization are intrinsically connected to race. Indeed, they're derived from race.
What culture is that?
Sure, we could have a ton of intelligent Asians or Indians come to America and do great in STEM or whatever, but they're going to create a different culture and different civilization.
But here's another Richard question.
That's an idea that he put forward, although he wasn't really able to articulate it and stick with it.
Well, if he
also said later that, we need to adopt the world's children and turn them into Americans and things like that. So Steve King, not everything he said is correct, but in that tweet, the reason why it became a controversy is because he was getting at something, that this is our culture.
Well, actually, here's the deal, though. You don't actually have a culture without other people in this country. You don't have one. I mean, without other people's babies, when you say our culture, you don't have it. I mean, I can tell you, without Black folks in music, you don't have a culture. When you look at food, when you look at dance, see, when one says culture, that means a whole lot of stuff, and not what you're talking about. So, final comment. Go ahead. Final comment.
I agree with you that very often races will engage in what you could say is cultural appropriation. If you look at Japan, its alphabet came from China, and much.
No, actually, let's talk about America.
But there's if you want to talk about the white race, something like the guitar, so much of food is in a way elements of it are taken from other cultures. But there's a spirit
or stolen.
Stolen is actually a very wrong way to think about it. This is like Afrocentrism of soul.
So who took the guitar? White folks took the guitar from somebody else, or did Black people take the guitar from white people? I'm just curious.
Right, but it's not stealing. It's appropriating in the sense that there's a spirit behind it, that we make something our own. Okay. That's in a way what makes
there's spirit behind making stuff their own. So he's telling you that their culture is savagery, it's terrorism, it's theft. That's what right out of his mouth, he's telling you that's what their culture. You really need to listen to this and hear this from coming out of his mouth. He is telling you what the white culture is. I'm not saying it's him. If you guys have a problem with it, please talk to him. He's telling you the white people's culture savagery, theft, and terrorism. So now you know, when you think of white people, I guess that's what you should think of: savagery, terrorism, and theft is what their culture is.
Say people is that spiritual sense that we can take elements of other things and create them.
Well,
the fact is, American culture, sure, there are elements from other peoples, the elements from Africa, the elements from Native American cultures, but there's this European spirit that defined it, that brought it all together.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, when you brought the guitar, the greatest guitarist to ever walk this planet is Prince. He's other people's babies. Richard Spencer, we appreciate it, man. Thanks so much. Christopher, Alex, I want to go to you. Again, what you have is you have a member of Congress, Steve King, who has made consistently white racist comments. And a lot of Republicans, okay, I don't want to say anything about it.
That's exactly right. He's got a long history of making derogatory comments about Latinos, Mexican immigrants, other people of color. He's the guy who said he wanted to electrify the fence along the border and shock migrants as they came over like cattle. He's the guy that says Latinos have calves like cantaloupes because they carry 75-pound bags of marijuana across the border. And now this latest comment that he made is completely outrageous. But think about the context that he's able to say this.
He's not telling you why they're sitting here talking about taking marijuana across the country. He's not telling you that now the white people want to, now that they can capitalize on marijuana, that it's a multi-billion-dollar industry that white people are capitalizing on. So they never had a problem with marijuana. They just don't want you to have it.
And what he's with this president, Donald Trump, who really set the framework for his campaign to be president by trying to delegitimize President Barack Obama, this birther conspiracy. And then when he launched his campaign on the very first day, he attacked Latinos, calling us rapists and thieves. And then it went on and on and on, and he attacked
rapists and thieves. Like FBI statistics will tell you that the majority of rapists are definitely the evil albinoids, and the biggest thieves. He just told you that was their culture. Their culture is theft and terrorism. So
Muslims and others. And so he's trying to create this false reality where only his truth is the truth, where all immigrants and Latinos are criminals, where all African Americans live in war zones. But it's false. That's not the truth. And unfortunately, what Donald Trump has done is create this environment now where folks like Spencer, who you just heard, Steve King, and others can be openly racist, and that's celebrated by this White House.
Shelley, go to my iPad, please. This is a piece that's in The Nation that was dropped. It's called "Fear of Diversity Made People More Likely to Vote Trump." Sean McElwee, Jason McDonald, they broke down the numbers. I want to bring in my panel, Spencer Overton from the Joint Center for Political and Economic Studies, Rena Shah-Barara, and Greg Carr, Howard University folks. This article, combined with when you hear Steve King's comments and Richard Spencer, and you listen to Donald Trump, right. This is the reality of where we are right here. This is it. So I'm going to tell you first, just on what they said about the made people, that the fear of diversity didn't make people vote for Trump. Fear of diversity made white supremacist terrorists vote for Trump. So there's that. And then I'm done. I can't watch the rest of this video, but I will leave the link in the description box for you. And then I'm done. I can't. My message to Black people is to definitely, we need to get to a point where we understand what we're up against, and right out of Steve, this I don't even remember his name, but right out of his mouth, you heard that their culture is theft, their culture is terrorism, their culture is violence. So they're telling you that if they're telling you that, you need to listen, and we need to realize that if this is a group of people's culture, this is who they are, this is what they do, then you know what to expect at all times. You need to be on guard at all times and know what to expect. Don't be surprised with the behavior of these individuals. Again, if I could say, anything to white people, why are you in America?
Like, seriously, it doesn't. White nationalists, if you just think of, you know, the easiest thing that makes the most sense would be for them to just pack up and go to Europe. Like, you would just go there because that's where all your great, awesome people are. But when you ask them about, you know, what America is, even when they talk about their connection and them coming over to America, they're okay with the savagery and the murder and the genocide and the theft. They're completely and utterly okay with it. It's okay. It feels comfortable. It's what's right to them. So now you know who you're up against, okay? And not that, you know, we didn't know in the first place, but you know, the more knowledge that we get on, you know, how they think and how they act and what their plan is, because their plan is to invoke genocide on Black people. That's their plan. Okay, so make no mistake about that. They're not saying that that's not what they want to do. They're telling you that they're terrorists. They're telling you that they're murderers. They're telling you that they're thieves. And we need to listen, and we need to take them for what they're telling us and believe them and trust them on that and act accordingly. That's what we need to start doing. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please share it. Please just push the click that little share button. Share it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just share these videos as much as you can. These are the videos that we need to go viral. So yeah, leave me comments, or if there's any subjects or videos that you guys want me to do commentary on, please just go ahead and send a comment. Or just put a link in a comment box section, and I will get to that. Thank you. Bye.